Well, there's my little mourning dove sitting on the fence again. Every time I come out here, she's there. And she's getting kind of friendly. Like, I can walk up to her, and I think she's young. Because she's not showing that much fear of me. Watch, she's gonna fly away now because I got the camera. I can get up pretty close to her. She's been keeping me company out here every single day since my husband's been sick. Hello, sweetie. Coming to say hello? My little friend? You're gonna need a name if you keep coming back. Right there. She doesn't run that much. I mean, she's looking straight at me. She knows I'm here. I'm really only a couple of feet away from her. And she just lets me do this. Every other bird runs. I mean, she's completely wild. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Today I'll be working out of a couple of different things, and I'm going to do a very short update on my husband. I don't need a long rambling video, thank God. He's doing much better. I think he's coming home soon. I'll keep you guys informed, but I really do think he's coming home soon. He's walking without a walker. Now, mind you, he's not 80 years old. He's in his 50s, so I'm really happy he's not using a walker. He's in a private room now. He went into the private room. They're fearful of infection right now, because that's the one thing that can really screw him up. The one thing that he went into the hospital for was infection before he complete system failure. And so they did put him in a private room so that he can walk around a little bit more. And he got in there, and like my husband, this is so my husband, he waited for the nurses to leave, and then he rearranged his furniture. Put his walker on the side, nobody was watching him, and he just did it. So they came back in, and they were like, what the? And my husband rearranges furniture everywhere he goes. I mean, never invite him overnight in your guest room. No, I'm kidding. He's not that bad, but he always rearranges. He likes his furniture a certain way. Likes to be very organized. That's just him. And the nurses were laughing at him that he did that. And they were like, why didn't you ask for help? And he's like, well, you guys wouldn't let me do this. So I guess he put his bed on the other side of the room. I think he only has to stay in the hospital while he's getting antibiotics. I think once the antibiotics are done, they will be booting him out the door. And there's been a question of whether he was going to go to rehab or not. And I think the fact that he's rearranging furniture in his room is an indication that he might not need rehab. So I will be happy when he comes home. I'll let you guys know when it happens. So today I'm working out of Colors of the Circus by Colorit. This picture intrigued me because I didn't know what the heck was the background. Is it clouds? Because it was kind of clouds. Is it fire? Because they made fire. So I'm doing fire and clouds. I never did that before. Today I want to just talk to you guys about a topic I've seen recurring on the internet. Now I have to admit I haven't watched much as far as coloring. I'm not up on everything that's coming out or anything. It just didn't have the brain power to keep up on things. But my good friend Charmaine does her best to keep me interested. She sends me little tidbits if she sees something that she likes or something she thinks that I might like. She sent me a video that she said was very thought-provoking. She thought that I might want to listen to, and it's a smaller YouTuber. And I'll insert the name of the channel here. I don't know it off the top because I'm not really subscribed. The woman in the video was talking about keeping up with the Joneses when it comes to pencils and giving her opinion, and how there's a lot of pressure from the YouTube community. And we're talking about the content creators, to get the biggest and the best. And do you have to own every book that's out there? Now, I'm just going to give you my opinion, and everybody is different. There is an emerging sub-community for people who like to collect. And they don't always color in their books, but they like to own them. I will admit, I have a couple of books also that I haven't touched as far as putting color in it, and I just wanted to own them. Lately, I've been I've been less into collecting every book that comes out. I am a lot more discerning now that I have books from all different types of quality, and I have pencils of all different qualities and quantities, and so really, I don't have a great need to run out and get everything because first of all, I know where they came from, and a lot of them are getting it from the same spot. So for some people, you need to own every color in the rainbow. That's your business. You can do that. I have quite the extensive pencil collection. I've got more than most, I will admit. But now I'm kind of being picky about what I purchase. Now that I'm a little bit more educated, and now for the fire, I'm using this is a Luminous, and I can't wait till I get my own pencils so I can read what the color they are. Light Fast. I have no idea. 901. This looks like an umber. It may say umber on it. Why don't these pencil companies learn and make it easier? I don't know. I'm using that, and I'm just using a couple of fire colors that I picked out. Scarlet Lake, Yellow Ochre, and Yellowed Orange. In a real fire situation, if I was trying to get it really real, I would have some sort of white or cream going in the middle, but I'm just not in the mood for that. And the clouds are the typical cloud colors. We've got sky blue light and cloud blue, and then I added a little bit and a little indigo to give it a little kick at the corners. And that's my typical cloud mix. I think it's everybody's cloud mix when it comes to color, doing clouds. So I've already given you my opinion on collecting books. Right now, I'm more into quality paper because I can do more with it. And I'm more into actually having really good artwork and interesting artwork. And I'm happy with the decisions and the choices that I've been making. I don't need to have every book that comes out on Amazon because, like this woman who brought the topic up said, there are books that you just don't color in. And the books that I don't color in are taking up valuable real estate in my closet. So this YouTuber, she seems very nice. She has a sweet voice. She did this video that I'm afraid she's gotten a little bit of bullying in some responses to her video, and she was just giving her opinion. Now, I will admit, I did not see the entire video. It's long. She was doing like a color along type of thing, but what I did hear in her video, one part was where she was talking about large hauls and products that YouTubers show, and then you never see them again. I can understand where people may have gotten upset with that. And I'd like to just give you an answer to that in my own opinion. Other people may disagree, and that's okay. I get a lot of products. You guys know that. There isn't a day that goes by, and if I showed you my email, that some company is not trying to get me to do a video for them. And some of the products are really good. Some of the products don't fit my channel whatsoever. Things that I know nothing about, electronics and stuff like that, where I honestly don't know a diddly who about it, And you don't see them on my channel. I don't put them there. So I don't accept every, offer for something free and just to put it up there to make a fast buck. I could never do that. I know that there are people out there in the coloring community that will accept just about every product, and sometimes the products that they're hocking at you aren't that great, and they don't say it that the product is not that great. I have no problem whatsoever doing a negative review. You guys know that by now. If there is a product and I've purchased it, because I don't really like to do negative reviews for products that are sent to me for free. And I do not have, I mean, I've been around this for a long, long time. I think I've been doing art on YouTube for like 7 years. I don't have a moment's hesitation to say, I'm sorry, I've reviewed your product, even though they sent it to me. I've reviewed your product, and you really are not a very good match for my channel. I had a problem with this, or I had a problem with that, and that allows me to bring on my channel only those products that I really liked, because you don't buy somebody's opinion. And if I started bringing products that I don't like, and people buy those products, and they have the same problem with it that I do, I look like a schmuck. I look like that person who's just hacking a product. It's one of the reasons why I did not do the reviews on Arteza. When I got their big product package and all those tempting little goodies in there, and I actually used them, they were great looking in the package. And I could do that haul, and I never even did the haul. I could have done that haul and said, look what they, what it is. And they're sitting in the package. And to be quite honest, I never liked any of the things once I got down to the nitty gritty. Now, I have changed my mind on their one product, their watercolor paper. I really liked their watercolor paper. And I came out in one of my videos saying that, okay, I don't like their pencils. I don't like their company ethics. Do kind of like their watercolor paper. I bought some cheap paper and I bought some good paper, and I personally liked it. Am I an expert on watercolor paper? No, but I know it works. I know that I can review something as in comparison to what I already have. If you're going to see a product on my page personally, I like that product. Now, if you see a product constantly on my page, I'm constantly coloring out of Colorit's books. You guys know by now, I'm not only a spokesperson for their company, I'm a user of their products, and I've never gotten a bad product from them yet. Down from their watercolor markers, they've given me regular markers. They're staples, like what I consider my desk staples. And their books, if I'm just coloring, like I'm not going to probably finish this page, but I'm finding pleasure on my own time coloring this. It's going to probably be, because I have a lot of them, I genuinely like it. And they didn't just send me one. I have most of their books. Now, I get a lot of smaller companies. Here's my eraser. Here's my, my sharpener. And I show them to you if I like the product. If their product is a good product, I will show it to you. But everybody on my desk, whenever you get a peek at what my desk looks like, you guys know, when I've been recommending them forever, I use Taihu. My eraser is always on my desk. It's in view of the camera. It's AFMAT. And that doesn't mean I don't like the other stuff that I've received. Other, sharpeners. I have there's multiple ones, smaller ones, all over my desk. So you might not see a product more than once on my channel, but it doesn't mean that I don't like them. Now, I've reviewed many marker sets. Do I use all of them all the time? No. And honestly, I've given away several of them. They're good sets, but how much product do I need? How many? I could show it to you, and I keep them around. Everything that I've shown, I practically have that I've really raved about. All the pencil sets, my pencil sets on my desk, I don't have just one pencil set sitting in this disaster that I call a desk. I've got every brand here, and to be honest, I even have an Arteza pencil on my desk. And I don't even like Arteza. I've got Luminous. I've got Prismacolor. I've got Polychromos. I've got Starjoy. I have every pencil is on my desk from every brand. You might not see it, but it's there. I have a wall with every pencil that I love. They're up on my wall on little hooks. And then I have a closet. And in my closet, what I do, and you'll see it, I put these. And I put the pencils into these because it's easy storage. So I might not keep the packaging. This is my brush funner. I don't usually color with these. I needed, for another video, that I needed my brush funner out for a comparison video. So what you're seeing is not necessarily what I endorse or don't endorse. It's just the way it is. There's just too many products to go in every single video. I'm using my sharpener and it's a Taihu. How many times in every video do you want to hear that? It's not feasible. I told you that I liked it. You know, I did the review on it. My God, my pencils are breaking tonight. I did my review on it. And now I'm just normal using it for my own, good. Now, what do I think about big hauls? Large. I've done a few. It's usually what I've purchased myself, going out. And when I get the time, like I have all these, you're going to laugh what's on my desk. I've got the watercolors. I've got my Sharpie markers. I've got my ink on my desk. I mentioned in one video I've been using the masking fluid. It's on my desk, but you're not seeing that. It's here. Brush sets, my watercolor brush sets, definitely fit into the collector, and I enjoy that. I like owning art supplies. I've got art supplies that I haven't touched in years that maybe will spark my interest 3 years down the line or 4 years down the line. I like to buy art supplies that don't get destroyed in time. Like acrylic paints, you really can't do that. It's kind of like a use them or lose them. And my markers here in the desert, at least, it's a use it or lose it type of deal. I can't pick up a marker that I bought 4 years ago and expect it to perform like, it did the day that I bought it. I will, it does dry out. So it's kind of a misrepresentation of what us collectors show you in our videos. And also, I'm going to talk about my friend Corey. She does a lot of really super great reviews. I don't expect her to use every single pencil in every book that she collects. I know her mentality. I know she's got it sitting on the bookshelf next to her and she's looking over at it going, my collection, I know that. It's a given. And given that the way that they try to get us influencers to pick products, I know. Now, I don't talk about it often enough, but Art and Fly is one of my favorite pencils. I don't talk about it often enough because there's just no time to talk about it often enough. My Art and Fly materials, their paper, and I did a haul using their stuff. They're always around me. I surround myself with the things that I love. It's the KonMari method of madness, that cleaning. Well, I subscribe to that, and I only keep the things around me that I truly love. You guys just don't always see everything that I love. I love a lot of things. And it's really funny because if you step out of my my art room, I'm a minimalist. I don't like to shop, believe it or not. The only thing I like to shop for in this world is art supplies Everything else is a chore, and I will get out of shopping for everything every time I could. So you really can't judge by YouTube what a person is like. In my daily life, my house is pretty organized. We just have a lot of stuff in it. And we have a lot of stuff in it because we have a lot of people living here. I have two sets of adults that live here, my kids, that are also collecting things for when they're not no longer living here. So they may have a toaster oven, which they do. They both have toaster ovens. Doesn't mean they're using them. They're just squirreled away because they're going to need a toaster oven someday. And they have things like that. And I, being mom, and mom does that, you know, I allow them to use my house as for a storage facility. So you really can't judge a person by their YouTube video and what they're like and what and how they really feel. I do understand the keeping up with the Joneses. Nobody needs 10 pencil sets. Listen, I didn't buy the Color set, and I kind of personally snark people pushing that set because that damn set is just butt funner. Those are the same pencils over and over again, and you're going to do everything in your power to compare this one to this one. For goodness sakes, how many times did you guys have to listen? They're all the same pencils. There's two levels of stuff coming out of China. There's the MarkArt, which is good. Marco has some pencils that are crap, and their Renoirs are among my favorite pencils. There's, the Starjoy pencils. I love my Starjoys. I love them so much that I helped Andy with the next set that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Which, by the way, we're down to the last crunch on that, with him starting to talk about shipping dates and other stuff that's going. I'll have a big update in my next video on what's going on with that, because there's a lot going on entering the next phase. As I said, there's two levels in China. There are the really cheap pencils that are bought over and over again. Some YouTubers are not aware or don't care if they're selling the same pencil set over and over again, as long as they make a buck. And there are those who will come out with, these are not so great. And I personally think Cola is on those lines, because they used to be Socolor, and they were another company. Right now it's like they're all mashed up, and a company that keeps changing their pencils to come out with other pencils that are already out on the market aren't producing their own pencils. These pencils are no different than the other crappy pencils that you could buy out of China. My recommendation, and it always is to get the sets from the companies that actually are producing the pencil. Deli pencils are produced by the Deli company and have the same pencils have been produced for a decade. They're tried and true. They're good pencils. It's the pencils that they use in China, because you don't really think that a lot of these pencils are not used by the Chinese people. They buy good pencils. They're very into their art in China. Like the Starjoy pen. Andy has been producing pencils for 20 years. He doesn't buy his pencils and repackage them unless they're sets and they're specific, because he does distribute for a couple of companies. But his name pencils, anything that has Starjoy on it, has been produced by Andy and not sold to Brett Funner to produce their own name using Andy's pencils. So a lot of YouTubers that don't know this information, they're like, well, we'll compare this and this, apples and oranges. You're not very knowledgeable about China. Educate yourself. The information is out there. I know every pencil, where it comes from, what manufacturer. I do those research things so that I know. This YouTuber, she made a lot of really, really good points. I hope people are not, well, I know they are. There are channels who are bullying her a little bit. she brought up a lot of valid points about there being people who just don't care and will put anything on their channel. And then there are people like Corey and me and many others. I can name a list of the reputable, the art gear, very good reviewers. You know who they are, that will give a bad review. That's the ones that I would listen to. Like Corey, she may not show every pencil every time and every book every time, but when she does her reviews, she goes completely test crazy. She doesn't leave it like anything like left to chance on it. And she might be a new and a smaller channel, but she does a very good review, a trusting review. All should be playing nice, and that's just my opinion. And we'll leave it at that. We're going to really get up close and personal now. I've been telling you everything about my life to begin with. Okay, so I know I said just a few minutes ago that usually my house is very organized, and it is. This is my husband's kitchen, and it's definitely his domain. But there are a lot of food here that we can't eat any longer, and quite frankly, it needed to be cleaned out. So right now, I'm in the process of going through all my closets and getting rid of a lot of things. Now, some of the stuff is really good, and we're donating a lot of food, canned goods and food to the local shelter. It's our pantry. We're also giving some to my other daughter who has her own home and her own kitchen, because it's perfectly good. I mean, it's ragu sauce that we bought, and we buy it at like the bulk places. Sometimes we have extra in the house. I got a lot of people here. So right in the middle of me going through this, and I'm going through it by the labels and determining what we cannot eat. And like all this stuff here is perfectly good food, not expired or anything like that, but we can no longer have it. This is organic. Our organic beef stock. We can't have that anymore. A brand new can of sardines or anchovies that my husband uses in cooking, we can no longer have. Falafels is another thing we can't have anymore. Organic. This is really good stuff, very healthy, but it's not on a kidney diet. So that's why my kitchen looks like this. So in getting rid of everything that we can't have, and don't mind, this is my dad's portion. He's thin, and he's not a grossly overweight person, and he doesn't have high blood pressure problems. He can eat some cookies, and he can eat a little bit of salt. In fact, his blood pressure goes low, so he really should have salt in his diet. Yesterday, we had a very strange thing happen, and I have to say something because it was really weird. I'm cleaning my kitchen out, and I'm making a list of all the foods that are kidney friendly and that he's allowed to eat. And it's the only stuff that's going to go in my kitchen, so that when he comes home from the hospital, which it's getting very close to, he will come home to a kitchen that is kidney friendly, and he's not going to have to worry about it. We get a knock on our door, and we open the door, and there's boxes of food left on our doorstep. We don't know who did it. None of my neighbors know, because they don't really know. Well, maybe one of my neighbors knows that, he's been in the hospital, and it's not odd to send food. I mean, the temple does it all the time when somebody's sick. The churches do it. It could have been from my husband's job, what was weird about it was when I went through the boxes that they left, everything in them was kidney friendly. That's why I was like, this isn't a coincidence that somebody left because it's a very specific diet. It's a very healthy diet. And it was all the superfoods from the heart diet. So the only thing on the box we saw that it came from one of the bulk places. Now, bulk places deliver. So I tried calling the bulk places. Did you deliver food here that was for somebody else? And they wouldn't give me any answers. They didn't come back to pick it up. The driver came and accidentally left the packages on my doorstep and it was meant for somebody else. They could have knocked on my door. I would have handed it to them. We didn't put it away. I didn't stack it out. In fact, like over here, they sent a case of oranges, watermelon, organic potatoes. They sent some really expensive stuff too. A big thing of avocado oil, which is expensive. The bottles are like $20 a piece. They sent enough garlic. I swear to God, they sent like bags of garlic, and everything was organic. It's like everything has the word organic meats, free range chicken, you name it. In fact, I had to fill my other refrigerator. We've got that refrigerator, and I have a refrigerator out in my garage, and we had to empty out that refrigerator and put all the stuff in that because it was all fresh produce and all really nice stuff. Now we've gone to our friends and said, hey, did anybody happen to do this? Nope. Nobody that's fessing up to it. So I'm left with, did one of my followers do this? And so I'm just putting it out there because there was no card with this. And from what we understand, when the place that it was delivered from, when they deliver, they will only deliver to a live person. They won't leave groceries, especially produce, on somebody's step. They ring the doorbell, they stand there, they hand it to you. If you aren't there, you have to get somebody to accept it in person. And this did not happen. They rang the door and they bolted out. Like we were there in a couple of seconds. You know, your doorbell rings. How long does it take you to answer your door? It was only a couple of seconds, and there was nobody in sight. Nobody on the street. It was like that person got into their car and bolted out. So we don't know who did this, but I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is extremely sweet for what this person did. Humanity shocks me sometimes. It just does. So if it was one of my subscribers, and a lot of people have my address, and I know that I'm not hard to find. I've never gotten anything from a subscriber that was bad, and the only unsolicited thing that I ever got was really a Bible. Somebody sent me a Bible. Everything else, it was somebody I knew did it. So if you are the person who sent the food to my house, you are such a sweetheart. Thank you. I wish I could have said thank you in person. I know I have a lot of subscribers that live locally to me. I've made, because of COVID, we haven't been able to do it, but I have said many times, yeah, we should all meet up and do a color along or something like that to people who live in the neighborhood. I know of one subscriber that lives practically in walking distance from me. So thank you again for your kindness, and I'll never forget you guys.